Hello and welcome back to Tales of Gear. I'm Tom. Now today's video will be about the TC Tactical Casting Made QXL clones and their Generation 2. Yes, this here is the Generation 2 and I will get into that in a bit. First off, if you were wondering, this here is the Larry Wicker's setup, the actual setup Larry used. We all know about Larry's video about the 723 carabine and the front switch, but if you paid attention, Larry says that that QXL was given to him by an Amara, and he is just showcasing what such QXL dive lights looked like. And yeah, there were quite a few configurations, setups of these lights. This one here is the actual light that actual setup Larry used, and TC has provided a very cool reference picture. Let's take a look. As you can see, this is a perfect clone of that, and here's a fun fact. This setup, I'm holding it with my left hand, so it's a right shooter setup. No, you can use it as a right hand shooter setup and it works perfectly fine. Great grip, great control over the switch, over the weapon, but it makes much more sense to be a left-handed setup. And this is just because, yeah, Larry is a left-handed shooter. Let me show you. When you hold it with your right hand, so you're a left-handed shooter, look at that. Look at the position of my fingers. Perfect grip, perfect control and engagement with the middle finger. So it is so freaking comfortable to hold and makes so much sense. Now I'm keeping it in this configuration. I am a right-handed shooter, but I like to have it authentic, and yeah, I'm keeping it as it is in the reference picture. Now let me take off the light real quick and I go into details about the Generation 2 of these clones back in a second. So here we are. Well, you don't get the handguard when you purchase this flashlight. You only get the light without the handguard. Here it is what it looks like when mounted. And this is a authentic skinny handguard, 6-hole, Colt. And here the close-up of the Generation 2. Now it looks way better than the Generation 1, and especially the front part, which is almost identical to the original one. And let me show you. So this is the original QXL as it was used back in the day to make such setups, and look at that, very close. Lumen wise, they are also very close now. I think the clone here is even a little bit stronger. I think the original one has around 50 lumens and this one here has 65. Here are the details, and these details are only possible when you do a casting, which TC Tactical Casting does. And now look at these details. That's very awesome. That's awesome. So if you make a clone correct build, this is the way to go. Now let's see how it shines. Way stronger than the Generation 1, and the reason why is inside. And now let me show you. So Before that, just a recap. So TC Tactile Casting started making these like 4 years ago, and the generation 1 was essentially about aesthetics. So yeah, these lights were functional, and they have used these aluminum 9 LED internal flashlights, and yeah, you can light up a room and have fun with it, but it was mostly aesthetics over functionality. And yeah, it is very nice that TC Tactile Casting came out with this generation, which actually equalizes the aesthetics and the functionality. So this is a working and functional light that will get the job done, and which is almost identical by the lumen output as the original QXL. So only better than that would be to use the actual QXL light, or to have somehow to source out the authentic setup like this. But as you know, these were trashed after the introduction of Surefire lights, so it is less likely to bump on one. I know of 2 setups, and perhaps there is maybe another 1 or 2 that we don't know of yet, but for now there are only 2 that I know of that exist. So if you make a clone correct build, you need a QXL light. This is the way to go. Now let me show you the insides of it. So start off with the bezel. We have the bezel, and here is the magic. It is a authentic laser product P60 6-volt bulb, 65 lumen output, and this is the holder. This is actually a clone of the original QXL reflector part, which was modified to accept these bulb assemblies. So this is it. Now let's see for the batteries. So we have 2 CR123 batteries, and you get 6 volt out of them, each is 3 volts. And we have this part here. This is a pretty cool concept for this generation 2 clone. If you use the spacer here, which is also a contact, and you can use 2 of these batteries, and you're actually powering the light with 6 volts. If you exchange this insert here with another battery, you get 9 volts. So the idea is that you can use any bulb assembly that fits the Surefire 6P light or the Surefire 660 light. So any of these will and should work in this generation 2 clone. TC Tactile Casting is saying that one should avoid any bulb assemblies that heat up too much. This goes for LEDs as well. Well, Surefire lights are made out of aluminum for a reason, and even Surefire says don't run it all the time. It gets heat up too much in the instruction manual. So as long as you don't go crazy on the lumen output and some crazy bulbs that heat up like crazy, you won't damage your generation 2 QXL clone. So I gotta say, I'm very happy how it works with 6 volt and this P60 bulb. It's pretty authentic, and yeah, it is very easy to operate. Simply insert the insert inside, and then the batteries. The positive side goes up, and this is it. Now the generation 2 is special because it uses this custom-made insert that goes inside, and if you were wondering if you can upgrade your Generation 1 light with it? Well, in theory, yes. Practically, no, because you would need to completely disassemble the Generation 1 and try to fit this insert, which will require perhaps some major modifications as well. And it's a high risk and great possibility you would ruin your Generation 1 and you wouldn't make the conversion. So TC is also suggesting not to do that and simply go for the Generation 2 as it is. I forgot to mention the Generation 2 is also waterproof. You have maybe seen the TC video how they submerge it, and it works. And yeah, you get actually the closest thing to the real one there is. So knowing that TC is the only company making these clones, I think they are getting closer and closer to perfection while combining it with the goodies of the modern lights, modern in terms of the early 90s with Surefire. So it is practical, it is durable. Generation 1 held up on real ARs without any issues. I'm sure this Generation 2 will do the same. And yeah, I can only recommend that. Let me show you another thing they make. This is the Delta Gangsta Grip. It is also improved. Of course, the internals are Generation 2, like this one here. The improvement is the switch, the push button switch. It's not China made, it's a real authentic push button switch made by Switchcraft, which was mostly used in such Gangsta Grip builds. So yeah, if you need a Gangsta Grip for the late 80s, early 90s, Delta style, this is it. Just visit TC Tactical Casting and get one. So yeah, the Generation 2 total and full improvement, user-friendly and very practical, and I can only recommend that. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, this is it for today's video. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.